You bring your child to their doctor's appointment, and just like that, you're helplessly watching your child be held down by a nurse, completely traumatized, crying hysterically, not coping, and you don't know what to do or how to help. You feel completely panicked. And I cannot tell you the amount of parents this has happened to, and it's because they didn't know this one simple thing. When I started my career as a certified child life specialist, I became obsessed with figuring out the best way to reduce trauma in infants when it comes to medical encounters. Today, I'm breaking down my top strategies into an easy to follow step-by-step guide so you can walk into your child's next doctor's appointment with complete confidence. Now, the first part of this strategy is something I had to learn the hard way. I used to walk into procedures completely unprepared, and I would literally panic when things didn't go well, which is why it is so important to prep yourself. Now, one way to do this is to prepare yourself with the mantra. For instance, you can practice telling yourself, I know my child best, and therefore I'm their best advocate. Or, no matter how my child copes, I know I'm still a great mom. Now, I promise this mantra will come in handy if things go south at the doctor's appointment. This matters because the more likely you are able to stay calm is the more likely your child will stay calm for two reasons. Number one, infants can totally sense when you're anxious, and they can feel it in your body language and your voice, and they will become distressed if you are distressed. Number two, the calmer that you're able to keep yourself, you're gonna be in a better position to calm your child. So moral of the story is to prep yourself before walking into that doctor's appointment. So you bring your child to their doctor's appointment, and just like that, you're helplessly watching your child be held down by a nurse, completely traumatized, crying hysterically, not coping, and you don't know what to do or how to help. You feel completely panicked. And I cannot tell you the amount of parents this has happened to, and it's because they didn't know this one simple thing. So first, let me tell you what typically happens. You walk into your doctor's appointment and the nurse tells you to lay your baby down on the doctor's table. So you want to be cooperative and respectful, so what do? You lay your baby down on the doctor's table like she said, right? No, wrong. Do not do this. Avoid this mistake. I'm going to explain exactly what to do instead. Advocate for a comfort position. If you're not familiar, a comfort position or comfort hold is just a way to keep your baby still and safe during pokes. Since this video is specifically about infants, because there's tons of different comfort holds, we're just gonna stick to the basics, which is just ask to hold your baby. Now, this is gonna help your infant cope way better. To be in the arms of someone they're familiar with versus being put on a cold table, they're just gonna cope way better through the poke. So for all the people pleasers out there, here's how I'd respond when the nurse says to put your baby down on that doctor's table. I would respond with, I really prefer to hold my baby during the poke because I feel they're gonna cope way better. So what do you do if the nurse literally will not let you hold your baby? Well, you can still advocate for what's called hand containment. So this is when you have one hand right by baby's head, one hand either under their bottom or right by their feet, and you're able to still be right there with them, and this can really help them to cope. Okay, so you prepped yourself, you advocated to hold your child during the poke. Now we're gonna talk about step 3, which is exactly what you need to avoid your child's cortisol levels from skyrocketing during that doctor's appointment. A few options include singing to your baby, making shushing noises, or playing some soft lullabies off your phone. And of course, as we had discussed before, some other ways to do this include holding your baby during the procedure and keeping yourself calm. Now let's move on to our bonus tip, which is to ask your nurse if you can breastfeed or bottle feed during the poke. Breastfeeding has been proven to soothe your infant during pokes because it releases what's called oxytocin. So this is ultimately going to help your little one cope. Be sure to like this video if you found any of these tips helpful, and check out my website in the description below for additional support.